So we're here today at the Association of Online Publishers B2B Marketing Conference. Some great topics, some great speakers, lots of great discussions going on, and we've managed to catch up with some of the key opinion formers in this space, and here's what some of them had to say.
I think everybody's kind of experimenting and everybody's trying to get to the point where, where they can start to see revenue. And I think there's been a phase where people have, certainly on the publisher side, people have been very panicky about the amount of revenue that they're bringing in. They're seeing, digital dimes for analog dollars, as the saying goes. But I think now we're getting to a point where people are starting to see that there might be a kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. That there might be an ability to turn data and to turn audience knowledge to their advantage, both as marketers and as publishers.
I certainly think there is a shift back from demand generation to brand awareness. I think a number of companies have focused too heavily on demand generation. As we heard in the sessions earlier, even though publishers are able to provide good quality leads to those companies through their demand generation activities, sometimes the leads aren't getting kind of responded to, and the quality scores aren't high, even though they hit the criteria. Yeah. And the problem there is that not enough money has been invested in brand awareness. And it's a bit like kind of nuclear half-life. You can go without doing brand awareness for maybe a quarter or 2 quarters, but after a time it will take its toll and will affect how your demand generation performs. So there's certainly a rise around what some people are terming brand gen, where working with publishers you can achieve the brand awareness through the type of content you create, but also have a demand pull through that activity.
I think most publishers are seeing the value of content, and so rather than it just being that typical structured media buy, it's now much more of a collaborative partnership. So that we're looking at packaged buys, we're looking at a lot of value-add propositions. Yeah. Overall, what used to be, as I mentioned, more of a linear kind of buying model is now much more integrated, and in some cases can collaborate with other publishers. So it can be quite a hybrid model.
I don't think the future looks that different to the present. I think, but what I think what does change is the kind of the realization of the assets that B2B publishers have. I think there's this. We're on the verge of a kind of a massive ability to exploit audience data, to understand and exploit audience data. We're on, if you're doing your job properly as a B2B publisher, you now know more about your readers than you have ever had the ability to know in the past. That is now your database, your understanding of your audience is now your biggest asset.